Hello there, this is Only One Kenobi, Only One, and I just want to do a video to comment on the recent images that have arrived of the upcoming wave that will include this new Klaatu figure, Yakface. Well, he has a new name now, or the name he's always had. I'm going to try and pronounce this, I'm not doing very well. Saelt-Marae. Please, I don't know if that's correct or not, I'm sorry about that if it's wrong. The Shoretrooper, the Scarif Stormtrooper actually, the Princess Leia Boussh, and finally apparently some Gamorrean Guard is coming out. But anyway, let's start with Leia Boussh. First thing I want to say about the Leia Boussh is I've got mixed feelings on this one. Number one, and yes, I'm very glad that we've got an original card coming back, although I have to say it does look to me like they've done some digital tweaking on this, and I haven't done it yet. I was actually going to do it tonight. I do want to do a video for everybody where I sort of look at these new card backs, and I think they have done some digital tweaking, but that will be another video now. This news has come out about these figures, so I'm going to stick to that. So anyway, the other issue I have is I do appreciate that they are trying to do an original 80s card thing by having the helmet in a separate chamber, but I don't quite think it's looking that right, really. The bubble height doesn't match the backboard, the orange backboard, so it's a little bit short. I know it fits in completely with the helmet there, but I don't know. I think that there's a guy who subscribes to my channel, Sebastian, who does great custom card backs, and I think his is better. Plus he used an alternative image that they could have used as well, Hasbro. They could have used an alternative image, but, you know, then again, it's nice to have the original image back, although, albeit, it has been tweaked, I think. But let me know your thoughts on that. What do you think about that image? Have they done something to it, like they've done on all the other cards? And, one final thing on that. It looks to me like they have updated the facial sculpt of Carrie Fisher there, and that looks much better than the Black Series version. That was an awful facial sculpt. Not that I have the helmet off anyway. In my collection, I keep the helmet on. I love the Boussh helmet, but it's nice to see that they have sorted out the facial sculpt of Carrie Fisher there. The next card back, I'm very pleased to see Klaatu out. Now, Klaatu was a character that was out in the 80s, but it was Woof, just wrongly named Klaatu. And Woof, as you know, was out in the last vintage collection, I think 2010, maybe 2011. But it's nice to see Klaatu is out on his own proper card back now. And Klaatu Skiff Guard there, he is fantastic. No problems with that card or image of the figure whatsoever. The next thing I want to talk about is this new Yakface that's out. And I think he's pronounced Saelt or Saet. I'm sorry, no, I've got that wrong. It's Saelt-Marae or Marae. But anyway, I've got two issues with this now. Firstly, let's talk about the positives. The Yakface figure, everyone's going to be happy about that because it's new, and a lot of people are grizzling about repacks. Personally, they don't concern me because I'm keeping things carded in the vintage collection. But that's just, I'm only one part of the audience here. You have to be considering these people who want fresh new figures, like my man Sci-Fi. Thank you, Hasbro, and thank you, Hasbro, in general, for giving us the vintage collection back. Now, here's what's wrong with it. The nameplate. Now, a guy on Facebook noticed the fact that the nameplate is shifted to the right, and I wish he hadn't pointed that out, because it's kind of spoiled my day now. Well, it's not spoiled my day, slight exaggeration. I wished he hadn't pointed that out, because I now don't like the fact that it's shifted to the right. As far as I know, there are no other vintage cards with the nameplate shifted over to the right like that, except for the 40th anniversary 6-inch line. And they shifted it for the fact that they couldn't do it any other way because the figures are so big or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, as far as I know, there are no other vintage cards with the nameplate shifted over to the right, even on the really tall characters like Chewbacca or even Grievous. You know, he's a tall guy. They didn't need to do it for him, so I don't know why they've needed to do it for this guy. That's issue number one. The other issue, which is something I noticed on my own, is the fact that it doesn't say Yakface in brackets underneath him, and I really am displeased that Hasbro have missed that detail, because they have done it on all their other cards wherever they have done it. For example, Ponda Barber, which is his real name, when he came out in the 2011 vintage collection, they put in brackets Walrus Man in tribute or kudos or whatever you want to say to the fact that that was what he used to be called. And I like the fact that they give them their real names now and keep us updated with canon or lore or whatever you want to call it. Oromako, that's another example. Formerly known as Pruneface, but on the Oromako modern card, Pruneface was given in detail in brackets. Now this guy, it should say in brackets underneath it, Yakface. And the fact that they haven't done that, It's not life-threatening. It's not going to affect anyone deeply too much, but I just thought that it was a shame that they didn't follow continuity and sort that out for us. It was just a shame. And that is all I want to say. The other card, I'm quite pleased to see the Scarif Trooper. Now, not long ago, Tatooine Customs gave me his interpretation of a Scarif Stormtrooper, and he did a really good job, and it was a lovely looking card, and it did make me wonder what Hasbro were going to do for their own version. And I'm really happy with what they've chosen here, because I do like the fact that you can see a part of the bunker and the palm trees in the background, and it just says Scarif to me, and I'm very happy with that. So that's good. And finally, the Gamorrean Guard that's coming out. Now, undoubtedly, this is going to be a repack. Now, this is good and bad news. It's good for people like me, because I don't have this figure loose, so I would welcome a Gamorrean Guard back on the market, because I can open him and have one loose. The bad news is, or the thing I'm a little nervous about, is what card back they're going to use. Now, I really hope that Hasbro give us an alternative card back for this guy. If they brought him out again on the exact same card back, it might do something to affect the value of all the previous releases, although all cards are dated, so it would obviously probably have 2018 or 2019 on it. But either way, I just think they should take that opportunity and give us an alternative Gamorrean Guard card back. Wouldn't be too difficult for them to find an archive image of him. And that is all I want to say. Let me just check everything then. So we've got Klaatu coming out. We have Yakface, with his real name now. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that again. The Scarif Trooper, looking pretty cool. Princess Leia Organa Boussh, which is great to see. And finally, the Gamorrean Guard. All in all, I'm just very happy with what we're getting, really. A few gripes there, obviously, but I'm just happy that we're getting vintage products. And I really hope to find out more in the future. And please, Hasbro, surely, if you're giving us all this katana fodder, all these characters from the Jabba's sail barge, all these goons coming out, it's about time we have some sort of sign now that we're going to get our man, Bib Fortuna, because he is someone that everybody's going to be clamouring over. Prime example of a totally appropriate figure for them to bring out. So, as I always say, make it happen, Hasbro. Why don't we make that a hashtag and get it going? This has been Only One Kenobi. Only One. Out.